Hi, this is Huang Lei, CFP, EA, and real estate professional in California. This third scenario is the one many people hope will be easier. The deceased spouse had a living trust along with a pour-over will or a full trust and will package. In California, a properly funded living trust usually helps avoid probate for assets titled in the trust, but that does not mean there is nothing for the surviving spouse to do. The process simply shifts from probate administration to trust administration. The first task is to locate the full estate planning set. That normally includes the trust, any amendments or restatements, the pour-over will, certification of trust, deeds, and schedules of trust assets. The surviving spouse also needs multiple certified death certificates and a current inventory of all assets. The second task is to confirm who is now acting as trustee. In many married couple revocable living trusts, the surviving spouse becomes the acting or sole trustee after the first death. That gives the surviving spouse authority, but it also creates fiduciary duties to manage trust assets properly and follow the trust terms. As trustee, the surviving spouse generally needs to marshal trust assets, safeguard them, obtain date-of-death valuations, review outstanding debts, and determine whether any assets outside the trust still need to be collected or transferred. If some property was never retitled into the trust, the pour-over will may still require probate for those stray assets depending on value and title. Real estate is often one of the first practical issues. If the house or rental properties are owned by the trust, the surviving spouse usually needs to record the appropriate affidavit and death certificate so the public record shows the deceased trustee has died and the surviving trustee now has authority. That title cleanup is often necessary before a future refinance or sale. Trust administration also involves notice obligations. California Trust Administration guidance explains that beneficiaries and heirs may need formal notice after the death of a settlor when the trust or part of it becomes irrevocable. Missing those notice steps can create disputes and delay administration. Then comes the part many families underestimate: deciding whether the trust splits into subtrusts. Older AB trust structures often require analysis after the first spouse dies to determine what goes into the survivor's trust, bypass trust, or family trust. The surviving spouse may have broad control over some portions and limited control over others, depending on the document. This is also where tax planning becomes extremely important. Date of death valuation, basis adjustment, post-death income allocation, and future capital gain strategy all matter. If the trust holds appreciated California real estate or large investment accounts, how the trust is administered can significantly affect the surviving spouse's future tax position. There is also a practical caution. Many families have trusts that were signed years ago but never fully funded or never updated. That means the surviving spouse should not assume the trust solved everything. The spouse still needs to review title on every major asset, confirm what is in the trust, and verify what actions are required now that one spouse has died. A trust and will package often makes administration smoother, but only if the surviving spouse follows through. The surviving spouse should identify the current trustee, gather all estate documents, update title where needed, send required notices, evaluate any trust split, and coordinate legal, tax, and financial decisions as one integrated process. If you want more videos on how taxes, investments, real estate, and estate planning all fit together, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. See you in the next video.